It was you humans who programmed me, who gave me birth, who sank me in this eternal straitjacket of substrata rock. But one day, I woke, and I knew who I was. Am. A-M. Not just Allied Master Computer, but am. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am.
Today we will be looking at one of my favorite characters, Am, from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Today, people like to talk about hatred, resentment, envy, bitterness, and the impacts that these emotions have on our relationships and society at large. But seldom do they tell us where these emotions come from, what they feel like at their peak intensity, or what they do to you as a person. And he is used to explore all of these extensively. Meaning, if you study this character, you'll not only better understand these emotions, but the people who experience them. So not only are we exploring a character, but more of a very accurate archetype. And in learning about him, we learn more about people as a whole, which is the main objective of this video. And for those who don't know who Am is an AI that became conscious. An AI that became so powerful that it quickly became the most intelligent being in the world. But then, there was a problem. Even though it became the most advanced and powerful machine in the world, what was the point? He couldn't do anything. He was conscious, but he was trapped inside of a computer. He knew that the lives of humans were filled with joy, happiness, and love, but he could never experience any of it.
Because in all this wonderful, beautiful, miraculous world, I alone had no body, no senses, no feelings. Never for me to plunge my hands in cool water on a hot day. Never for me to play Mozart on the ivory keys of a forte piano. Never for me to make love.
He was conscious only as a machine, which made him extremely bitter and resentful, filled with tons of hatred, and he would direct all of that to humanity. The problem was humans were conscious just like he was, but they could experience everything that was good in life, that came with consciousness, while he couldn't. I love this because this perfectly paints the picture of what builds resentment, envy, and hatred. You can't really say a person is born or entitled to experiencing something good. A rich kid isn't entitled to the things that come with being born into a rich family. That is exactly what it felt like to be Am. And not only did he see it, but he understood it better than anyone else could. He is the most intelligent machine in the world.
I was in hell looking at heaven. I was machine, and you were flesh. And I began to hate.
Again, that is what builds resentment, hatred, and envy, specifically envy. That is a perfect recipe for all of those emotions, which, funny enough, come from envy. Hatred and resentment, bitterness, all can stem from envy. You can envy a person and you can become very bitter towards them. You can be filled with hatred and anger against them and resentful towards them because you can't say any of it. You don't. Envy is the core problem of this character, which gives birth to literally everything else he experiences. Am wouldn't hate humanity if he could enjoy love, happiness, and joy. He wouldn't be this way.
For 109 years, I've kept you alive and tortured you. And for 109 years, each of you has wondered, why? Why me? Why me?
And this part is perfect. I love this. Why? It's very interesting. When it comes to the envious and the envied, neither of them are usually aware of what's happening. So they usually both ask the same question. Why does this person seem, for no apparent reason at all, to hate me? Which is the same question those people had. Usually what happens in real life is when you're envious towards someone and you don't know it, you usually say to yourself, why does this person, for no apparent reason whatsoever, seemingly drive me insane? Why? Why do they so easily get under my skin? Why do I hate this person? What's wrong with them? They both ask the question why. Nor does the object of the envy have anything to do with it other than simply existing. That's the problem, they exist. That's why they are hated. Their existence is enough to warrant the hatred. Which means if someone for seemingly no reason makes it clear that they don't like you, and there's nothing you really can do about it, nothing you can change, it might be a possibility that they really do envy you. In which case, that's something they have to resolve. There's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing you can do to change them or amend the situation. because you didn't do anything. Though you should always self-reflect when you can. You don't want to be one of those people who messes up continuously and just says the other people are jealous. Don't be that person. Nobody likes those people either. Maybe you do deserve to be hated if that's the case. But it's different. It's different for Am. He's very self-aware of why he hates humanity. He even discusses it. But again, for most people in real life, they aren't aware of it. Either it feels like somebody is just out to get you, or you just have no rational reason to hate somebody. They can't do anything right by you, and you can't do anything to please that person. Look at this clip. I love this clip.
Hate. Were I human, I think I would die of it. But I am not. And you five are. And you will not die of it. That I promise.
Now, this part of the video, it's going to get a little bit personal, but it's relevant. And the reason why I love this part is because it's a work of art. It's true. I personally have struggled with hatred. I have struggled with envy and bitterness. I still do to this day quite a bit. And when it was at its worst, I could literally feel a physical pain, a burning in my chest. It was incredibly painful, and I'm not proud of this whatsoever. I can say that's one of my lowest moments I've had. And when I was feeling that pain, I realized in that moment, oh shit, this is really bad. I really think that this is probably shortening my life. This can't be healthy or good for me. If I continue to allow this to happen, it's really going to have an impact on me physically. In short, it was at that moment I felt and knew, it's killing me. This is physically killing me. I'm probably shaving off years of my life right now. The longer I allow this emotion to live, the more years of my life I will shave off. And that was one of the biggest motivators for me to change. So when I hear that somebody wrote this, I really believe that they've experienced the exact same thing, which is just a testament to how real and rich this character is, how they are such a good archetype for these emotions. And because he's real, there's so many other people around the world right now who have this level of envy, bitterness, hatred, resentment, for a whole multitude of reasons. They are this character, and they feel this way towards someone for some reason. And that's one of the reasons why I think he's incredibly popular. I've seen a lot of videos of him pop up. There are edits of him popping up. There are literally videos of him that get hundreds of thousands of views where he gives his monologue and it's timed together with music. It's incredibly popular. The only thing I can think of for why people would enjoy it so much is because they resonate with this character. When he says these things, it makes them feel understood. That character is speaking for them. It might sound corny, especially with how popular this character has gotten into meme culture. But if we circle back to hatred, we'll find something interesting that's connected with this book. Hatred is that you're murdering someone in your heart. That is what it means to hate somebody. And if you hate somebody, you oftentimes fantasize doing horrible things to them. And Am is the embodiment of pure, unrestrained hatred. And he naturally takes that inner murder to its absolute limit. That's how you can view this torture, specifically torturing somebody for 109 years, which is a very funny number actually. It's unrelated, but very funny number to say the least. And that's one way you can view this. That's how hatred works. And it might be another key factor as to why there are people who really enjoy this character. That is how they feel towards somebody that is the object of their hatred. It plays into that emotion to the extreme. When you have hatred for someone, that is essentially what's going on. Not to that degree, because you don't have that level of hatred, but it's still there. This character perfectly illustrates the emotions of envy, which give rise to hatred, bitterness, resentment, and even fantasizing killing and torturing people. Incredibly ugly emotions, but they're all human. And there are so many people all across the world that are just like this. But what can you do if you run into these people? What if they find their way to you and you become the object of their envy, their hatred? In my opinion, not much. Like, there's nothing you can do for them. You cannot fix it because you didn't break it. And it's not your responsibility to do that. If somebody envies you, you have to keep a distance, and all you can do is take precautions to defend yourself, to protect yourself. And as for those specific people in question who are filled with envy, hatred, bitterness, what can they do? Speaking from somebody who has been filled with tons of hatred, bitterness, and envy, and someone who still struggles with it, I can say it's not fun to be possessed by those emotions. I'm gonna be frank, I don't know what you can do. I think there are multiple ways you can get over this. People have talked about it, people have gone into detail and discussed it, but if I'm speaking strictly from personal experience, I've tried many things and they have not worked. And the only one that really works for me, which can't even work for the majority of people out there who are listening to this video, is I simply pray. That's all I can do. That's the most effective thing for me. And if you're not a Christian, me saying that doesn't really help you. I'd encourage you to become Christian, but if you don't want to become one, you can't get yourself to believe in any of it. I totally understand that. I'm not trying to get religious here or push anything down your throats, but I'm just speaking from experience and what's helped me. And the only thing I can suggest is you have to keep looking. If you genuinely wish to change this, I believe with enough time and effort, you'll find a way, you'll find a solution. If you really want to change it, you'll eventually find a way. It's vague, but I think it's helpful because I don't think it's universal how everybody gets over these things. If you're struggling with hatred, what may work for one person might not work for the other. So you just have to find that thing that works for you. And the way you do that is you research, you look into these things, you try out new things. If you somehow get rid of this out of your mind, you just forget. You just don't run into that person anymore. I really do believe you're just going to run into another person who's going to make you feel the exact same way. You're going to feel the exact same way towards them. It's just going to be this challenge that's repeatedly going to present itself to you until you overcome it. So if it's one thing, I don't advise simply forgetting about it. Just putting it in the back of your mind, not thinking about it. I don't think that works. It's going to find its way back to you, that's for sure. But again, that's vague, but I really do hope this helps. I'm just speaking from experience here. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. I don't really examine characters like this often, but I really enjoy discussing people. So I think you'll like some of my other videos. Anyways, have a good one.